This is just sad. Now, people are saying that this take a grain of salt. It may not be real. It's not a rumor. I believe there's a lot of truth in this. I'm sorry because reading this sort of rumor and that garbage ass freaking poor man's Bonnie and Clyde that we're getting with those two freaking bland, dull brick characters that I'm supposed to freaking get accept. I'm like, you know what? There may be truth in this, and also Dan Houser leaving. So let's just break this down. So again, so let's break this down right now. So let me a little bit smaller and put it up in here. So um alleged GTA 6 story that was cancelled by Take Two for being too dark in 2016, and I'm going to put up on that. So led by Dan Houser, and guys, if you don't know, remember the Houser brothers are the originators of GTA. So these guys go way back. I think they may be Scottish and everything. So these are the guys. Him and his brother were both of the guys that's are the founding members of, I think it's Rockstar North, that pretty much makes all the GTA games. So led by Dan Houser, who left Rockstar after years of rewrites, consistently rejected by Take Two. So a police crime plot worthy of a thriller that featured three protagonists. I'm not a fan of multiple protagonists. An old cop, his troubled son, and the right-hand man of a Colombian drug lord. The cop is principled, but he gradually descends into organized crime in a desperate effort to protect his son, who is struggling with drug addiction. The son, a devout Cuban American, trying to escape his addiction and the dangers of the drug trafficking world. The drug lord's right-hand man imports narcotics into the US through Vice City with ambitions to build his own empire in North America. You see, for me, I'll keep it as a stack with you. That is far more interesting than the crap that we're getting right now. And here's the thing. I don't think all of that is true. But I do believe that elements of that are most likely true. Because I say to myself that why did Dan Houser leave? Just because I always thought about, okay, you are a founding member of one of the most innovative entertainment companies of all time, and you are a key creator of one of the most revolutionary entertainment franchises in history, which is the GTA series. And you can even throw in Red Dead as well. Why would you walk away? Now, you could say that, hey, he's done all that he can, and he just wants to now do his own stuff, create his own thing. But why I think there may be truth here is like I came up. I'm one of the originators of GTA now. This is my thing. And so this is my thing. And I also want to be able to prove that I'm still that dude that is the creator of GTA 3 Vice City and everything. So if a guy who's a creator is my ideas are being rejected, it's like a pride thing. You could call it ego, but I just think it's an understandable ego thing of like, okay, all right, I'm out. Now, obviously, because this is similar to what happened with Mass Effect, and I've actually been playing Mass Effect, which is for me, I don't care. It's the GOAT RPG game. Like Mass Effect 1 and 2, freaking amazing. I Mass Effect 1 and 2 are the two of the greatest RPG games of all time. What they did is revolutionary. I'm playing it right now again. I'm like, no, this game is amazing. What happened in Mass Effect 3? They got bought out by EA Sports. Sorry, no, so they got bought out by EA. And what did the EA do? Make it more action oriented, action, less RPG, less story. Oh, and you have to release it at this moment in time right now. And what happened? A garbage freaking story and one of the worst endings and the biggest letdowns in video game history, which is what Mass Effect 3 was, because the suits came in and ruined it. So I think the reason why I think that this tracks is because you have to realize what GTA 5 was. And this happens with anything, with movies and video games. And Take Two are like, bro, if we don't do a follow up, it's better not to rock the boat. We're not here to take risks here. Okay, once you're making this huge, the more money you make, the less risky people want. Because what you want to do is you want to make more money. Bro, look at the Call of Duty franchise. Look at the FIFA franchise. Just don't rock the boat, but just keep on ensuring whatever worked and rolling with it. So, and the timeline is interesting. 2016. So what was happening around 2016? So remember, that was around the time where you had again, see what you guys call woke, I call stupid. So you know how you say, oh, let's make Superman black. That's stupid. Oh, let's have a female action star. That's stupid. Oh, let us have freaking Ray who can beat up everybody, and Ray is stronger than Luke Skywalker. That's not woke. That's stupid. That's dumb. Oh, let's have he, she, they, that, them, thee, we, wah. That's not woke. It's stupid. It's good to be woke because woke is like the Matrix. Like when you're asleep, you're like, oh, everyone is so lovely and people are amazing. When you're awoken and you're woke, oh, people are a-holes. Don't trust everybody. Be very wary of who you put your trust into. And the world is a dark, scary place. That's when you're awoken to the realities of the world. So it's good to be woke. It's not good to be stupid. Okay. So what you think is the woke agenda is not the woke agenda. It's the stupid agenda. It's the moronic agenda. So that's moronic agenda because it's tracks. What was it about? Let's push our agendas forth, our dumb agendas forth. They wanted a female protagonist. That's what they wanted. And I think because we're pushing for that, what you're getting really, it's not really Bonnie and Clyde. It's Bonnie and Clyde. That's the thing. Lucia, whatever that chick's name is, I think she's the main character. And he's just the co-character. So what you thought is, okay, let's just have a safer story, but let's have a story that's much more female-led. So this was really tracking with where the world was in terms of just pushing forth, or let's have a black superhero, or let's have a disabled superhero, or let's have a female superhero, or let's have a trans superhero. Let's just push off, not out of anything creative, just out of pushing an agenda so you can pat yourself on the back. And I do believe, though, that this just tracks with it. Because for me, I'm looking at the story of GTA 5. I'm like, okay, 3 protagonists. Oh, this is like Heat. I'm looking at GTA San Andreas. Okay, this is like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. I'm looking at your boys, Vice City. Oh, this is Scarface. GTA has always had an edge and a very strong, dark criminal edge. It's always come up with quite an edge and had very edgy characters. What shocked me when I was watching the second GTA 6 trailer was like, I'm bored. These characters are boring. I remember when we first saw Nico Bellic, or when you saw CJ, or when you saw Tommy Bergetti. I'm like, oh no, these characters are interesting. These are cool. I'm looking at these 2 characters. Guys, be real with yourself. They're boring. These characters are boring. They're boring. And I always thought to myself, and I think I said this on my previous video, that what I thought they hit something. They hit gold with the Vice. For me, Vice City is still one of the greatest games of all time. They hit gold here. And their goal thing was, let's go back in time and play on people's nostalgia. Let's go back, because when you go back in time, you can build a world that's very specific, a look that's very specific. And what is the key thing that we love about GTA? The music. And I always thought that, bro, so you've done the late 80s, you've done the early 90s. Bro, you can do the late 90s. Because that's when you're now, that's another golden, you can do 98. That's a golden age of rap. That's some pretty good pop music as well. So there's a lot of musical tracks that can put in there in 98. But what I always said, bro, Sepulchre. The French Connection, 70s. Because once you do that, bro, you're bringing in MJ, you're bringing in Led Zeppelin, you're bringing in Stevie Wonder, you're bringing in just some of the most amazing music there. The suits, the cars, the style, the look, the feeling, and just how the world was culturally in like the mid to late 70s. That would be super interesting. And what do you do? Which is similar to what they're saying, a detective and a corrupt, crooked detective who is now dealing in the seedy world of the drug underbelly and everything. And I'm like, that's GTA because, again, we don't know whether this is true or not. But it's so funny when they say too dark. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. Weren't Rockstar the guys behind the Manhunter, which actually ended up being banned because it was too dark? But Rockstar, that is what they're. Which is what I say, like, I'm, this isn't. I knew something was wrong. Because when I just saw, you see, that second trailer, I was like, this is something like, I think they're trying to sell out. I'm trying to say, what is the safest, most mainstream story we can tell that won't ruffle any feathers, that just completely safe? Oh, let's just do a typical vanilla love story. Because here's the thing, as I said before, you can do this. Guys, go watch a film called Natural Born Killers by Oliver Stone with Woody Harrelson and Robert Downey Jr. Again, it's a couple as well, but it's dark, it's messed up, it's violent. So if you a GTA version of like a couple, I thought would be Natural Born Killers. Something where no, both of these characters are freaking crazy and they're freaking edgy. From what we've seen, these guys are freaking boring, bro. Guys, I know we know what it felt like feeling controlling Tommy Vercetti, and guys, it's freaking Ray Liotta. Okay, the guy had freaking charisma and personality oozing out of his entire body. So you can't go from freaking Ray Liotta to these two bumps. And because it's just why I just find so is that you had like with the Vice City, I thought, okay, bro, this is it. So the new standard right now is because, bro, this had Dennis Hopper, you had Burt Reynolds, you had obviously Enrique, you had Louis Guzman. I thought once you do this, the new standard is every GTA game we play, we get real actors. So we're getting, oh, Will Smith, yo, Denzel, yo, DiCaprio, yo, Bale, yo, Viola Davis, yo, Meryl Streep. So we're getting these top tier actors to lend their acting talent and their voices to these games just to add much more of an authenticity to the world that you're now trying to create. Like, that's because, and imagine if you do like a cop thing set in the 70s, like Sepulchre, and you bring in De Niro, you bring in Pacino. Bro, what are you talking about? You bring in John Voight. You bring in a Morgan Freeman. You bring in like a Lawrence Fishburne. Guys, what are we talking about here? What I just thought that's where we would go, but you've gone from that to where it's just some no-name voice actors and but the most blandest, trashiest characters. And guys, I'm sorry, like this is what you have to understand. Will the game be amazing? Technically, of course it will be. Of course, technically the game will be freaking outstanding. I'm playing GTA 5, and I'm like, this game is freaking amazing. The story is trash. And the reason why I never bothered finishing GTA 5 is because this story is garbage. And I don't give a crap about these characters. As in compared to who you had with from Nico Bellic, Tommy Vercetti, to these characters, it's a downgrade, bro. And these two, I'm sorry, these guys are garbage, bro. And I'm interested in a Natural Born Killers. That's interesting. A soft, weak ass, not Bonnie and Clyde. Nah. And when I just hear this kind of stuff of what they were actually trying to think of doing about like a police cop, drug underworld, and everything, I'm like, that's the edge that you expect from GTA. But again, I believe that they sold out. I believe made too much money, too much bread on the line. We don't want to ruffle any feathers. We want to no controversy. Keep it safe so we can keep on making money. It's all about making money. And when you're about making money, creativity goes out the window. It's all about trying to keep it safe. That's why I'm interested to see what Dan Houser does. Because see, that's the real creative juice of everything. And as I always said, guys, I said that the fact that Dan Houser is not involved, I know there's going to be issues here. I know technically the game will be amazing, but creatively, I know Dan Houser was behind of like, you know what? Let's set something in the 80s. Let's recreate the 80s. Let's bring the music of the 80s. Let's bring the vibe of the 80s. Or you know what? Let's bring in Ray Liotta as the lead. That's the creativity. Because I'm sure it was a huge risk of like, oh, to go back in time into the 80s, like brilliant idea. Like that idea was brilliant. And then you come back, oh, let's go to 1991 as well. So, but once now take away those creative guys and only have just the technical guys, but guys that don't want to take risks or have no real interesting ideas, you get this trash. And guys, this is trash. I'm sorry. The world look is amazing, but it's just Vice City. And would I rather have Vice City in the 80s or Vice City in 2025 or 2026? I'd rather Vice City in the 80s, personally, because the 80s was just far more cooler than whatever trash is happening right now. So I believe that rumor, bro. I believe it. And I just think that, you know what? And I think it's just the issue we have with the gaming right now is no risks. Everything is just there. And the days of whether you had like your Zelda Wind Waker, you had your Mass Effects, you had your Vice Cities, you had like a Halos, those risk-taking games, your Legacy of Kains. It's about making that dollar, 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 yo.